Hello, Sally here. Today we're going to do some Pilates exercises for your back. So they're all going to be lying down on your front on the floor. So if you've got a mat, use it. Otherwise you'll be fine on the carpet. So make sure you're warmed up and let's lay down on our front. So you're going to have your legs hip width apart. You need to place your arms down here beside you. And when you're doing the exercises, you're going to have a straight neck. So your chin is tucked down and your nose starts by the floor. So that's the position that you want to keep your neck in the whole time. So just relax your jaw, relax your legs, relax your arms, and then just start to lift gently using this lowest point in your back to lift from. So you're using the muscles right across there, just above your waistband. So you keep your chin tucked down, and that keeps your neck in a nice straight line the whole time. And then you don't try and lift too high. You just want to lift your head, your shoulders, your upper body all at once, in one block, keeping a nice straight line through the neck the whole time. So once you've got that going and you can feel these muscles here tightening to lift you up, you'll feel a little pull in your abs as well. Then just make sure that you're breathing normally, because it can be tempting to hold your breath. So obviously you want to avoid that. You've also got to avoid locking your jaw together, so you don't want to be clenching your teeth. So just keep it nice and relaxed inside your mouth and all around your neck. So I'm just lifting gently. It's not high, it's not big, and it's definitely not fast. So you want to keep that smooth so you don't fling yourself up and down. You almost feel like you're floating up and down at a steady, constant pace. So you keep your shoulders down. I've still got my hands on the floor. I'm not lifting the arms. And this is the basic lift that is good to start with, because this is the easiest, it's the safest, and it doesn't overload your back too much, so it gives you a chance just to feel what it's like and what it's capable of. And then we can add some extras in. So I'm going to do 2 more just with the hands here beside the body before we start to move them into a different place. So let's go 1 more. Okay, when you come down, I'm going to move the hands here. So I've got the fingertips touching and the shoulders still need to be down your back. So you don't want your elbows too high. And I've got the fingers then underneath the chin. So I've still got the straight neck. Keep your chin tucked down. And then as you lift up, I'm using the same muscles in the back and no pushing through the palms of your hands. If you push through your arms, it's more like a press up then and uses your arms and chest. But just lay your hands lightly on the floor and then use your back to pull you up in the same way that you did when you had your arms beside you. So it's the same feeling in your back, but it's a little bit harder with your arms further up here. So still all the other things that you did. Keep your breathing steady, keep your jaw relaxed, keep your neck straight, so the gap under your chin is always the same size, and you're always looking at your mat. So you don't need to be looking in front of you, you just stay looking down there just above your hands. Okay, so that just loads up the back a little bit more. So all of this has all been in the centre. So I'm going to do 1 more like this, and then we can add a little bit of a twist to this, and that's just going to work a wider area then across your back. So leaving your hands here, I'm still keeping them light. We're going to lift up in the middle, just move over with the head and shoulders to one side, come back to the middle and then come down. So you do a lift in the middle. When you move toward the other side, it lifts the opposite elbow a little bit off the floor, but I'm keeping the palm on the floor. And always come down in the middle after each one so that your back gets a rest. So you've got to do a lift of a bit first, and then you can slide over so your head moves over. I'm not twisting the neck, but the head moves with the upper back and it all goes together in one block. Leaving the hands on the floor, but you will find it lifts one elbow a little bit off the mat as you go to the other side. So let's try that again. I'll do 2 more like that. And still keep breathing, still relax your jaw, don't change any of those things. Okay, so that would have been a little bit more intense on your back. We can make that even harder by actually lifting your hand off the floor. So you do your lift in the middle, and then when you go to the side, you just hover your hand above the floor and nudge your elbow out to the side. And I'm still keeping the hand under the chin, so that as you move over, your arm and your head and shoulders all go together, because your hand is stuck to your chin. And make sure you're breathing. It gets a little bit tougher, so it's very tempting to hold your breath. So don't do that, keep breathing. And again, I'm just switching sides each time, moving over as you nudge your elbow off to the side. Let's just go for one more. And then when you come back to the middle, you can relax. Okay, I'm going to move the arms to the side now with the elbows bent, so you've got your palms on the floor. Keep your shoulders down your back, and then move your legs a little bit further apart, so they're a bit wider than hip width apart. Keeping your hands here, this is going to work more the middle of the back as well now. Each time you come up, just look along the floor towards the edge of your mat there, or just in front, and then when you come down, tuck down your chin and straighten out your neck. So I'm not pushing through the hands, just using the back, little bit of a curve then in the upper back and neck. So before we looked at the floor the whole time, but this time look along the floor and just in front of you along the ground, and then back down to that piece of floor under your face. So I'm not using the arms at all. Keep your shoulders down your back, and you'll feel that in the middle of your back. So go slow, then you can feel exactly how far it's comfortable to lift, and then just come down carefully as well. So going slow will allow you to stop when you can feel that in your back, and it'll tell you how far you can manage without it doing anything uncomfortable. Keep the shoulders down. Okay, if that is comfortable, we can take this further. So I'm going to add the arms in now. Lift the first bit the same, that uses the back. Then if you want to, you can push your hands into the floor. Keep your shoulders down though. And again, just looking in front, get your elbows down on the floor, get the weight off your hands as you come down, and then you can straighten fully right to the ground. So there's two stages. The first stage here at the bottom doesn't use the hands. Then you push the hands in the floor, but keep the elbows low. What you don't want is your elbows up here and your shoulders there. So keep all that low, get your elbows down first, get the weight off your hands, and then slowly straighten out fully. So the curve in the back starts in the neck, goes down the upper back, and then right to the lower part. I can feel it all through the middle and lower back there. It's a good stretch as well for your abs. Get your elbows back on the floor, get the weight off the hands, and slowly straighten back out. I'm going to do two more. So you don't have to do this second stage. You can stick with just doing the first bit that doesn't use the arms. So you need a little bit of strength in the arms. You need a little bit more strength in your back as well. So let's just try one more. Just stretching through the neck. Keep breathing, pushing your hands into the floor if you're doing that second stage, and then coming down slowly, get the weight off the arms, and then straighten back out. Okay, we're going to bring your hands under your chin now. Bring your legs in close together and just rest your head on your hands. Let's bend both knees. So keeping your feet relaxed, I want you to alternate your legs swinging forwards and backwards. So I'm just doing that with relaxed feet. You can tap the floor, but you don't have to if your knee doesn't want to go down and straighten your leg that much. Just keep your shoulders relaxed and then swinging the legs, alternating them coming in and out. Try that now with your feet flexed. So you pull in through the back of the heel, and that's going to tighten your calf as you bring that heel in towards the back of your thigh. Keep steady on your hands there. Keep steady on your front. So it's just your legs are tightening. Bring them back together in the middle. So with your feet relaxed, I'm now going to split the feet to the sides. Keep the feet and ankles relaxed first of all, and just split them apart out to the sides. You need control for this because it's very tempting for the legs to just bounce and drop. And then try that with your feet flexed as well. You should still have relaxed shoulders, so make sure they're not hunching up. You should still have a relaxed jaw, and you're going to feel tension in your legs even more then with the feet flexed this time. And do two more. And then when you get back to the middle, just relax your feet, put them back on the floor. And then we're going to tuck your toes underneath and give your legs a bit of a stretch. So I've got a gap between the feet there. The toes are tucked under. And then as you lift your knees off the mat, you're going to balance then on your tiptoes. And that's going to be tight all through the back of your legs, which you're going to get a big stretch. So just hold that there and breathe. And now bring down your knees, uncurl your feet, let your legs relax before we try again. So tuck the toes underneath. And then as you lift your knees off the ground, you're going to be balancing there on your toes. Your legs will be straight, and you can stretch from the bottom of your feet, your calves, your hamstrings. Okay, knees down, uncurl your feet, and then we'll try that with the legs wider. So put them out in a V, tuck your toes underneath, and then see if you can get your knees to come off the mat. So you're balancing there, you can feel it on your tummy, leaning on that on the floor, balancing on your tiptoes, knees down. Just uncurl your feet to relax your legs before we try that once more. So I've got the wide legs again, feet, toes tucked under, and then get your knees to come off the floor and just push through the back of your heels. Bring down your knees, uncurl your feet. So walk your legs back in. We're going to come up onto your hands and knees. So just come up carefully using your arms onto all fours with your knees apart and your hands apart. And then to give your back a good stretch after all those moves, tuck down your head, tuck under your bottom, and then just pull up in the middle of your back. So you're in a rounded, curved shape, and that'll give the back a good stretch after all those moves you just did. And then flexing it the other way, going to a straight back, and just keep going to a point where it's still comfortable, lifting up your head and dipping down in the middle of your back. So try both of those again, rounding up and over first, tucking under at both ends and getting a big arch to your spine with your belly button pulled up in the middle. And then when you push down, we go back to a straight back, your head starts to lift up, you can look in front of you, slide back your shoulders and get a dip in the middle. Okay, come back to a straight back again, and now sit back towards your heels just as far as you're comfortable with your head down between your arms, and then let your elbows rest on the floor. And come back up. So back to a straight back, and I'm going to try that again with the knees wide but put the feet together. Only if your knees are comfortable, you can try it like this. So I've got a V shape there at the bottom of the legs. Knees are wide and the feet are together. And then sit back. If your knees don't like that, just put your legs parallel again, but just sit back and then slide your arms, your fingers forward along the mat. Doesn't matter how far back you've sat, but just let your head come down between your arms. Hold it there, and you're going to take a deep breath in that position. So slowly breathe in through your nose, and then as you breathe out through your mouth, just feel that really stretching as you reach your arms in front. So try one more. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, just reach your arms forward, feel it stretching through your back. And then just breathe normally. Bring yourselves back up. And you're all done. Thank you very much. Well done.